by the rivers of Babylon. Yeah, we sat down and we cried when we remembered Jerusalem. We were sick, Lord, near to dying. Oh,
Shalom, 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 everyone. Welcome once again to D.C.B channel. My name is Uziel Lewy. Thanking the Creator of heaven and earth once again for allowing us to be here, for allowing us to be able to call upon His name in truth and in righteousness. And unto Him and Him alone must we give praise. We all must say hallelujah. Thanking the Creator of heaven and earth for life, food, clothing, and shelter. Ma'ozia? Can you bring me my other phone, Bavakusha? It's on the bed. Thanking the Creator of heaven and earth for life, understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. Thanking the Creator of heaven and earth for being able to call upon His name in truth. Thanking Yahweh for all of you that are out there on internet land. Thanking the Creator for, just give me 1 second here. Trying to find something. I'm always trying to find something while I start up the services, but that's what happens sometimes. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's week was good. I hope that everyone's week was excellent. And I hope that everyone had a good meal. And that everyone enjoyed themselves. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to do the Facebook thing. Still don't got any assistant. Still don't have any assistant. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I see they have something new here. All right, that's nice. See, Facebook have a different way of doing live videos now. Let me see how this works out. Shalom, shalom to everyone on Facebook Live. You just joining us. Thanking the Creator for life, food, clothing, and shelter. Thanking Yahweh God for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Thanking the Most High God for my life. And the life of all of you. All right. I like the way Facebook Live is looking right now. Looks nice. So, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Welcoming everybody to the Shabbat day. All right, something is happening with this Facebook Live here. Let's see if it works out now. Let me see. 3, 24, 17. Next. Let's see if they. All right. Try this again. Okay. Hopefully this works out this time and it doesn't bump me off. Turn that off. All right, everybody. Thank you to Most High God for my life, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Thanking Yahweh for all of you that are in tune with us tonight. I know I started out kind of late, but the days are getting longer. And the time is really getting shorter for us to broadcast. I'm going to have to resort to doing some pre-recorded videos, because once the sun starts going down past 8, stuff like that, unless I really have the energy to come on with you guys, is going to be kind of difficult. Maybe I'll come on for a prayer or two and then put up some pre-recorded videos. But in the meanwhile, we here. I thank the Creator for my life. I thank the Creator for all of you that are out there today. I thank the Creator for, you know, how we hold up and how we do things, you know. All right, so we know that Pesach is approaching, and that we have a lot of things to do. I know people are started to clean up already. The sooner the better. And doing that, it helps us to accomplish the things that we need to do to get the leavening out of our homes, and to get prepared for the season of unleavened bread, like the Most High God commanded us. How does it look? How does it look on Facebook? Is it clear? Is it a clear stream on Facebook? Let me give everybody a shalom. Shalom, shalom. I guess it don't allow me to type. This is like a new format. I'm trying to see what's going on here. All right. Let's see how this works. Let me see. Add. Wait. Okay. Trying to reconnect. Wow. Okay. Don't know what's going on. So, all right. Facebook is acting up a little bit, so I'm not going to be concerned with that. Let's see what we have here. Tomorrow's portion is going to be YAH Pekudei, which is going to be taught by Chief Benjamin, and I think that's sometimes we kind of miss the point on those portions, because we're talking about the garments of the priest, and we're talking about the consecration of the priest, and the building of the temple, the tabernacle, not the temple. And sometimes we overlook those things, but I think it's very important. And I know my brother Chief Benjamin is going to do a great job with it. And I hope that everybody will be tuned in for that. So we ask the Most High God to continue to be with us and bless us and guide us and keep us. I wasn't going to come on tonight, but I seen that people were waiting for me to come on, and I said, "Oh, let me come on and do a little something." Today I'm gonna go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9. Before I do that, I just want to say that make your preparations for Pesach, but in making your preparations, use wisdom. What do I mean by that? Use wisdom, because there are a lot of things that we begin to follow, or we begin to deem to be. Shalom, Ima. No, you're not on speaker. I'm talking to you on the phone. Oh, no. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm just trying to figure out stuff on this computer. I'm distracted. That's what it is. I'm trying to figure out my Facebook Live. So no, but I'm okay. I'm good. No, I'm tired. I sound tired. I'm just tired. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm tired. I'm good. I'm good though. All right. Okay, I'm good though. I'm good. Okay, Ima. Shalom. See, got people calling concerned about me, but I'm okay. I'm just tired. This is my tired sound. But I'm okay, Ima. Thank you for the call. I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And no, what I was talking about was I don't know if I'm on Facebook Live anymore. But what I was talking about is our preparation for Pesach. Make it the best that you could make it. Of course, sometimes when you live like when you're young and you living in your parents' house and things of that nature, your parents won't mind you cleaning up. But the thing that you can't do is go around into your Ima and Abba's house and start throwing stuff out and because they don't keep Pesach the way that you do, or they don't keep Pesach at all. You can't do things like that. So, but you could clean up your space, what belongs to you, what's your area. You could keep that. Um, you could keep that leaven free, and just remember to be circumspect in everything that you consume, because the time is coming up, and then the time will be soon. So those are things that we keep in mind. That's the kind of understanding that we have to keep, and that we have to stay focused about. All right, that's very important. It's very important for us to do that. So hopefully we stay on top of that, and we do that. All right. What's happening is I'm trying to figure out this Facebook Live thing, and yeah, it's just not working today. Let me stop. Let me finish with that, and then I could just concentrate on my regular stream. I'll worry about that tomorrow. So I wanted to just touch on that. Now on Yom Rishon on Sunday, this Sunday the 26th, Chief Benjamin at 7 o'clock in the evening, Chief Benjamin is going to do a thorough review on Passover, what we can have, what we can't have, how we do things at Congregation D.C.B. He's going to give the list. He's going to do a PowerPoint presentation on it, so that everybody understands clearly exactly what is it that we can have, what we can't have, what are things that we stay away from that might be or might not be, that are shaky. These are all the things that he's going to go through, because we realize that we need that. We do have a video with that on our website, www.dcb.org. And if you look for the Passover breakdown, Chief Benjamin has it all there, and you could find it there. And you could definitely get the understanding from there. But we're going to revise it. We're going to do it up to date with actual things that you could see, and be able to be able to recognize exactly what is it that we need to do during Passover, the do's and the don'ts. So we're definitely we're gonna do that, and it should be nice. So remember, this Sunday, Yom Rishon, at 7 in the evening. All right, 7 in the evening, Chief Benjamin will be going over the Passover, the do's and the don'ts. He said he's going to take about an hour to break down the do's and the don'ts, and then he's going to take questions at the end. So hopefully we can answer all your questions at that point in a timely manner, and we could get good understanding of what is it that we can and we cannot do during this time. So that's very important. So I hope that everybody will tune in, will be there, and most importantly, gain understanding of what is it that we're doing. I think that's important. Sometimes we don't get understanding of what we're doing, and we end up being confused. So we hope that we get some understanding off that situation, and we kind of do that every year. So hopefully this time we could do it, and it'll be and everybody will get some understanding off of it. So thanking the Creator for that. Thanking the Creator for all of you once again. Trying to open up the chat. Okay. Shabbat Shalom to Ima Avred Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom to Adaya Zerabat Yehuda. Shabbat Shalom Deborah B. Shabbat Shalom Chana Lewi. Shabbat Shalom Ima Sarah, Beatrice Pope. Shabbat Shalom Gavred Kaskuya by Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Sister Edna Pete. Shabbat Shalom Letitia Stewart. Shabbat Shalom Marsha Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Yonah Ben Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom Ozi Lewi. Shabbat Shalom Yosef Wilson. Shabbat Shalom Yair Emmet. Shabbat Shalom Torah Base. Is the intro song online? No, the intro song, actually the sister who sang the intro song is no longer with us. She passed away. Yeah, sadly she passed away from cancer, still a young woman, a few years back. So that is not online, but if you reach out to me tomorrow night, I could show you how you could get it. All right, Torah based. Shabbat Shalom, Olgeris Manit. Shabbat Shalom, Dina Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom, and that's Shabbat Shalom to everyone, I think. Kilon Benjamin and More Tavel, Kenya Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom to everyone that's online tonight. Shabbat Shalom. So, yeah, so I just wanted everybody to know that. Now, there was a question online last week as to when do we start the Pesach, right? As to what date is the Pesach and when do we start it and all of that. Now, I understand that there are different places that do things differently and that have different dates, but the date I just want to read it off so everybody will be clear. So now, the first day of Feast of Unleavened Bread, that D.C.B, the way that we observe it and the way that we keep it, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? That's what we're celebrating. The Pesach is on the 14th day. The first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is on the 15th day. The 15th day is when the sun goes down, right? First day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Passover, as we know it, begins on Monday, the 10th of April at sundown and concludes on Tuesday, April the 11th at sundown. So once again, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Passover, begins on Monday, the 10th of April at sundown and concludes on Tuesday, April 11th at sundown. The last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread begins on Sunday, April 16th at sundown, concludes on Monday, April 17th at sundown. So if you work in the daytime, you need the 11th and the 17th off. The 11th and the 17th off. That's for everyone that's keeping the Pesach with us, the Feast of Unleavened Bread with us. Those are the days that you need. Those are the days that we will be observing it. And that's for everyone out there who is keeping the holy season with us. All right? So, Shabbat Shalom, Dina. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. So, to everyone out there, those are the days that we're observing. There was something else that needed to be answered that I'm not remembering right now. Okay, if anybody remembers, can you please? If anybody could remember some of the other questions that were on Shabbat that we didn't get to answer, please post them up. So maybe I could give you an answer right now That's for everyone out there. Please do that. Put that up there for me. And so that I could help out whomever it is that I need to help out with, whatever it is that I need to help them out with. Excuse me. Tell you a funny story, right? I used to, when I was younger, I used to tease my aunt because she will always be burping. Burr, burr. And I used to I forgot what I used to call her. I used to be like, oh, you burping, you always burping like a cow. And I used to laugh. And now I have like the burps, like I got this like gas, just always burping. And I was like, that happened because you used to tease your aunt. I used to laugh about it, but now I'm going through it. And let me go back to what I said I was going to do. Ecclesiastes. Oh, you know what? Let's go to Exodus. No, I know where I want to go to. Know exactly where I want to go to. No, sometimes when you read so many when you read chapters throughout the week or you listen to things, you got so many ideas. And because tonight I didn't have a concrete idea, I was thinking about going and doing a couple of different things. Now my mind is like wavering which chapter do I want to go to, but I know where I want to go to. I want to go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 16. The book of Devarim, right? As we learned a few weeks back. How do we say Deuteronomy? Devarim. Devarim. Devarim means words and it means things, right? Devarim. So we go into the book of Devarim, chapter 1. It says, observe the month of Abib and keep the Pesach, the Passover unto Jehovah thy God. For in the month of Abib, Jehovah thy God brought thee forth out of the land, out of Egypt by night. It says Shamor et Kodesh Ha'aviv we asita Pesach. Pesach la Yehovah Eloheka ki bekodesh Ha'aviv hotzi aka Yehovah Eloheka mimisraim Laila. Right? So I'm understanding words a little bit better. I'm not a Hebrew teacher. Somewhat read it, and that's that. So it basically says the same thing. Observe Shamor, like from Shomer, right? Like keeper or guard of the Shabbat, or like how we say Shomer Shabbat, keeper of the Shabbat, observer of the Shabbat. Shomer et Kodesh, observe the month of Abib. Chodesh Ha'abib, right? So that's the month of Abib is the beginning of months for us. Is as it's coming up. I believe we are at today is the 27th. What is it? The 26th of Adar. The 26th of Adar is today. So the month is almost over, and Abib, which will be the beginning of months, we will be celebrating our New Year soon in a couple of days. And we will have a happy New Year. We really don't do New Year's celebrations. Some people are opposed to it, some people do it, but we don't celebrate in our traditions and our culture. we get more of that spirit and doing things with what the nations are doing. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that that are crazy, you know, but that's for another day. But definitely we don't celebrate like our new year. Our new year does not fall in the month of Etanim, which is the 7th month, but our new year falls on the month of Abib, as the Most High said this should be to you the beginning of months. Our liberation from Egypt, that month when we were liberated from Egypt, we began to be a nation. And it makes sense because it's the time of the spring when things are budding forth, when there's a new beginning, when there's new life. So the Most High said, this should be the beginning of months unto you. Verse 2, and thou shalt sacrifice the Passover offering unto Yahweh thy God of the flock and the herd, and the place which Yahweh shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Right? So what this tells us, we cannot sacrifice the flock or the herd, right? You can't do the Passover lamb, the goat. You can't do that in any place that you want to do it. This is why we do not do the Passover offering and these the lands of our captivities. Now, what we do is we have the matzah and we have the bitter herbs. And if we have lamb, it's as a token, right? It's not the Passover lamb. It's just as a token as we're doing the service and when we're doing the prayers, we could pray and have it as a token. But we do not call it the Passover lamb because the Passover lamb is an offering, and we cannot do offerings or sacrifices in the lands of our captivities. It has to be in a place where Yahweh shall choose to cause his name to dwell there, and that place is in Jerusalem. Okay, so that's why we don't do Passover sacrifices here. We don't do any offerings here, and furthermore, we don't have the line of the priest. We don't know who the line of the priest is, so therefore we can't do that. You know, everything has to be in line, and everything has to be, you know, according to what the Most High God wants it to be. So these are things we have to keep in mind. It says, verse 3, thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. It said, lo, tokal, allow, chametz, right? It said, thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. Chametz. You shall not eat leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. So when we do the Passover sacrifice, or the Passover sacrifice, right? We can't eat that with leavened bread. We can't eat that with bread that has yeast in it, bread that has sourdough in it. That's how people used to get their dough to rise. They would take a little piece of dough, let it sour, right? Let it create bacteria and stuff like that, and then knead it in with fresh dough, and that's how people created the yeast or they leavening. So the Most High God said you can't do that. He said when you're eating this offering, this Passover sacrifice, that you cannot eat it with any bread that has leavening in it. For in haste didst thou come forth out of the land of Egypt, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt, all the days of thy life. So we remember it all the days of our lives, just like our forefathers remembered it all the days of their lives. So we came out of Egypt in haste, so we didn't have time to make the sourdough, to add it and make to the fresh dough and let the dough rise and be able to make that leavened bread. So the Most High God wants us to keep the eating of the unleavened bread, right? The bread of affliction, as they call it, because it had no leavening in it. But it didn't have that, I guess, that soft texture. But you know, when you just make it out of the griddle or however you make it, it and you put something in it, is not really like that hard. But they call it the bread of affliction because it had no leaven in it. All right. So for 7 days we're supposed to eat it. It's called the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So for 7 days we're supposed to have unleavened bread. And let me tell you something about this Feast of Unleavened Bread. It does the body good, especially if your emphasis is on eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, certain grains. Certain people, certain Israelites eat rice and beans and things of that nature. And then you got some Israelites that don't eat rice and beans and things of that nature. But it's all fine. We respect each other, what we do, and it's no sweat off of our backs. All right. So we've been doing that for years. It's never been an issue. Even within D.C.B, we got brothers and sisters and families that don't eat rice and beans, and it's fine. But us from D.C.B, even from the time when we were at Shema Yisrael, we always partook of rice and beans and eggs and things of that nature during Pesach, during Passover time, or during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But like I said, there is no sweat off of our backs. It doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect the people that don't eat it, and we get along, and it's all good and it's all well. Torah YAH. That's a blessing. And it goes on and it says, for in the haze didst thou come forth out of the land of Egypt, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt, all the days of thy life. So that eating the unleavened bread is a remembrance, the bread of affliction. It's a remembrance that we came out of Egypt. So therefore we tell the story, the Pesach story, and we remember the affliction in Egypt, the bondage and the servitude that we went through in Egypt, and we're supposed to explain this history to our children and let them understand why our forefathers went through in the land of Egypt. Verse 4, there shall be no leaven seen with thee in all thy borders 7 days, neither shall any of the flesh which thou sacrificest the first day at evening remain all night until the morning. So, and there shall be no leaven seen with thee in all that, in all their borders 7 days, right? So we're supposed to get rid of all the leaven from all of our borders, right? Burn it, whatever it is. Eat it up. I suggest that we got about 2 more weeks. Let me see. We got about 2 more weeks to Pesach, or 2 weeks and some days. Start buying less and less of the stuff that has leavening in it. Get your body used to start weaning yourself out of. Stop buying all them condiments, all them sauces, all that stuff that is going to be too much. From now on, when you go shopping for things that have less and less of the things that you could consume for Passover. All right, that's just the smart thing to do. It's just a smart thing to do. So just keep those things in mind. Try to stay away from the things that are going to contaminate the actual that's going to contaminate. Basically, that's going to be a hindrance to you keeping the Passover in the manner that you're supposed to keep it. So just stay away from, start reducing, like I said, the stuff that's going to cause you to fall short when it comes to the Pesach. There's a lot of things that we do to prepare. This is the time when you get the kids to start looking through the house to clean up, looking underneath the bed, taking out all the clothes that don't fit anymore, fold them up, put them in bins, or find a way to to send it to somebody in another country. It's so much waste that we have, you know. We also got to learn how to network and learn how to do, as they say, missionary work in other places, and be able to send, you know, these are the clothes that we throw away and we put in these big metal bins. These people are taking them and sending it to third world countries and making a profit off of it. Now, I'm not saying that we make a profit off of it, but we all have family in all the Caribbean islands, overseas, wherever it is that your family come from, and these people are facing poverty. So what we need to do is learn to get some barrels, put some clothes in barrels, and start sending different barrels to different countries that need. We could rotate it. You know, we just put. I've always had this idea. We make a donation or we make a collection, and then we send it to this place, that place, this place. We put some food in it. We put some clothes. We might send 2, 3, or 4 barrels and send it to someone that's trusted, that will distribute the stuff evenly to the people who need it the most, and like that we get a blessing from the Most High God. But it's just an idea. You know what I'm saying? So during this time in Pesach, this is what we do. We start clearing out the closet. We start putting away the winter clothes and bring out the lighter clothes. You might start putting away some coats. You might keep one coat out because you might still get a cold day here and there. But you start putting away the stuff that you know you're not going to use anymore because winter is gone. And then you start bringing out the lighter stuff, right? It's the time to, you could also make resolutions for yourself where if you want to stop eating something, if you want to start exercising. It's usually the time when I start exercising again. My biggest issue is the winter. You know, I hate the cold, exercising the cold. So you make resolutions for yourself during this time. You try to get yourself in a position of on a good frame of mind. You know, this is the time for that. So Pesach definitely brings that spirit upon us. And after you clean your house out and you see how light it feels, it makes you feel good about yourself. And then hopefully you could keep the house clean throughout the year. Oddly, the hardest thing to do besides like the kitchen, the stove and stuff like that, is shredding all those papers and all those things that got your name on it. That is like, if you don't stay on top of that throughout the year, boy, oh boy, you'll be shredding paper forever. You know, you'll be shredding paper forever. So let me see here. Maybe there's some questions and I'm missing them. I guess nobody is on. Nobody has questions, so keep it like that. See what's going on here. All right. We got 53 people on. So yes, that's what we do. We start clean up. We start doing all those things from now. You start looking for the things to eliminate. And that's how we've been doing it for years. I mean, it's a feel-good moment. Put the kids to work. Let them understand and realize the importance of Pesach and what they must do during Pesach and the importance of it all, you know. They have to understand the importance of Pesach and what it means to us as a community, what it means to us as Hebrews, and we need to explain it to them. You know, explain it to them and let them know the importance of it all. That's all we have to do. Explain it to them and let them know how important Pesach is to us in our history and what we do. So now, verse 5. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover offering within any of thy gates, which Jehovah thy God giveth thee. But at the place which Jehovah thy God shall choose to cause his name to dwell in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover offering at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou comest forth, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt. So once again, we understand and we know that we can't sacrifice the Passover offering in any of our gates. It has to be in the place that the Most High God told us to sacrifice it. And later that place became Jerusalem, where we had to make a pilgrimage 3 times in a year. Passover, the season of Passover being one of them, where we went down and we made our offerings before the Most High God. We didn't have the freedom to do offerings within our gates. And when we read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 12, it expounds on that, and it also tells us what we can and what we can do, what we cannot do in the land, outside of the land, the offerings and the do's and the don'ts. So those are things that we have to keep in mind, and why we always say that we don't have a Passover lamb. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that we keep in mind. I read that verse 6, verse 6, but at the place which Jehovah thy God shall choose to cause his name to dwell in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover offering at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt. So yes, it says, and thou shalt roast and eat it in the place which Jehovah thy God shall choose, and thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto thy tents. Right? So this was a tradition. And this is why some congregations, they keep it as an observance together, and the different Knesset or whatever. They're going to be a lot of congregations that are going to sleep over, because it's a night of watching. It's a night of watching, so they stay up all night, or they might I know some congregations stay up all night. Some people sleep over, some people can't stay up, but it's a memorial. So, and then when morning time comes, they go home and do whatever it is. They wash up, and the emphasis, even for us, I remember coming from some of my earlier teachers, the emphasis was always on the night service. We emphasized. Later it became a thing about the day service, but I remember first coming into Torah that the emphasis was mostly put on the night, on the night season. And that was always something that that fascinated me. But as time went on, we emphasized on the daytime, when the nighttime was actually the time when we used to really keep that time, the nighttime, so definitely you got some congregations that still put that emphasis on the nighttime. They sleep over, make it a night of watching, they feast, they have unleavened bread, and so forth and so on. So that, however you keep it, however you do it is fine. We in captivity, so it's fine, and as well. That all works out, Verse, and thou shalt roast it in the place which Jehovah thy God shall choose, and thou shalt turn in the morning and go into thy tents. Verse 8. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Jehovah thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Jehovah thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. So 6 days we eat unleavened bread. It's a chag, it's a feast. And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Jehovah thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. So the first day and the 7th day are holy. You do no manner of servile work on those days. And the 7th day of the feast of CHOKMAH, so it's a solemn day, right? We always get those solemn days at the end of those 7-day feasts, because it's almost like a reflection and it's a reflection of the goodness. It's a reflection of what just went past. You understand what I'm saying? So those are things that you have to keep in mind, and things that you have to understand. Verse 9, 7 weeks shall thy number unto thee from the time the sickle is first put to the standing corn, and thou shalt begin to number 7 weeks. So this is talking about the days that you number to the next holy day, which is Shavuot, right? So it says you number to yourself 7 weeks from the time the sickle is first put to the standing corn. But it actually wasn't corn, it would be barley. That'll be the barley harvest, right? When the barley ripens, you cut it down, and then you start numbering to yourself 7 weeks. So this is a time where everybody will have to come to agreement to know when the barley will be ripened, and then cut down the barley, and then start counting the 7 weeks until Shavuot. But while we were in the diaspora, while we were scattered, what happened is that we began to well, I'm gonna leave that for another day, because that's going to start another controversy, and I don't want to start that right now. Let me see, verse 10. I'll explain that in depth another time. Verse 10, and thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto Jehovah thy God, after the measure of the freewill offering of thy hand, which thou shalt give according as Jehovah thy God blesseth thee. Right? It says, and thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto Jehovah thy God, after the measure of the freewill offering of thy hand, which thou shalt give according as Jehovah thy God blesseth thee. So this feast is not coming with a set portion that you have to do. I mean, it tells you to bring 2 wave loaves, but you're also coming with a free will offering, and that's according to what the Most High God has blessed you with. So if you did real good, if you had a good crop, then you're gonna bring more. You know, if you didn't do that good, and you had a bad crop, you're not gonna do that good in bringing in that free will offering. So there's gonna be a difference in that. Verse 11, and thou shalt rejoice before Jehovah thy God, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are in the midst of thee, in the place which Jehovah thy God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. That once again became Jerusalem. So it's telling you we shall rejoice. That's another story for another day. Sometimes with the rejoicing, I don't understand. There's so many traditions that we have observed that I think sometimes we forget what the meaning of rejoice is. And sometimes some people turn everything into a Shabbat day, and I don't believe everything is a Shabbat day or turns into a Shabbat day. So Shabbat Shalom, my brother. Shabbat Shalom. Mashah, Shamar, Yasharala. So let me see here. It says rejoice. Verse 12. And thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and do these statutes. So, right, we are commanded to do these things. They are statutes that are forever. Verse 13. Thou shalt keep the feast of tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in from thy threshing floor and from thy winepress. So this is the last ingathering, or the last harvest, which mostly will be fruits, right? At the end of this last ingathering. So it says, thou shalt keep the feast of tabernacles 7 days after thou hast gathered in from thy threshing floor, from thy winepress. So This is around the time when our forefathers start making wine. Verse 14. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, and the stranger that, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Very important. Everybody rejoices. So that means if you have to share with those that don't have. The fatherless, the widow, the poor, the Levite. These are people that don't have. So when the Most High God blesses you with so much, you're supposed to rejoice with them because they're within your gate. They are in your communities. They are all around you. Supposed to help and look out for them. Be with them. Help them out. These are all the people that you're supposed to look out for and be there for. The poor, the needy, the fatherless, the widow. All these people are always going to be in the midst of you. Verse 15. 7 days shalt thou keep the feast unto Jehovah thy God in the place which Jehovah shall choose, because Jehovah thy God shall bless thee in all thine increase and in all the work of thy hands, and thou shalt be altogether joyful. You're going to be joyful because of the increase, and you're going to be joyful because you're going to be eating and celebrating with all your family. That's a joy. That's the beauty of the celebration, and that's the joy of the celebration, that you are amongst family. There's nothing like keeping the holy days amongst family. That's beautiful. Verse 17. Every man shall give as he... No, verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before Jehovah thy God in the place which he shall choose, on the feast of unleavened bread, and on the feast of weeks, and on the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before Jehovah empty. So what did that mean? When you came before Jehovah, you didn't come... When you came before Jehovah, you didn't come with your hand, with nothing in your hand. When you came before Jehovah, you came with the offerings that were due, and whatever percentage of whatever grew your crop, or how many firstborn clean animals you had. And it was a bunch of things that were going on during this time. So these are things that we have to... Shalom to everybody that's tuning in on Facebook Live, and everybody that's coming in on YouTube. So these are things that we have to keep, and we have to keep in mind, right? That we came giving these things freely. Verse 17. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of Jehovah thy God, which he hath given thee. So now we don't bring offerings to the temple or to the tabernacle. But this is for everyone out there. When you are part of a organization, a congregation, whatever it is, it depends on you for that place to keep going. Like when we read tomorrow's Sidra, Wayakel Pekudei, when you read Wayakel Pekudei, it tells you that the people brought freely, that they broke off their golds and the blue yarn and all these things, because the people are the ones that had to come together to get the tabernacle built. God didn't send anything miraculously from heaven and gave Moses the material. The people had to bring their gold to make the table of showbread, to make the ark of the covenant to be overlaid with gold. They had to bring brass. They had to bring all those things in order to build. They had to bring the pins, and they had to bring the material so that the pins and all the wood and all that. It even tells them, all the people, it told the people to go get to bring forth acacia wood. These are all the things that were necessary in order to build that tabernacle in the wilderness, and we're going to go over that tomorrow. Chief Benjamin is going to go over that tomorrow and let you see that it takes a collective effort. It takes a collective effort in order to make things happen, in order to build anything. So if you're part of any organization, you have to come up with that willingly. Don't short the organization. Don't short what is it that you're trying to do, because in the organization, you're trying to build the name of the creator. Not build the name of the creator, let me not use that word, but you're trying to bring people to knowledge of themselves and to knowledge of the creator of heaven and earth. Verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which Jehovah thy God giveth thee, tribe by tribe. They shall judge the people with righteous judgment. So judges and officers, you always make within your gates, within your congregations, so that they could judge the people. You know, we don't go by a Christian concept of judge not lest ye be judged. You know, we don't go by that. You know, we judge people every day. You know what I'm saying? You judge your children when you give them a beating. You came up with a judgment. This is your punishment. You know what I'm saying? So all those things we keep in mind. So we put officers in the midst of our gates. We put officers in the midst of our congregations in order to keep some sort of a form of some type of court, you know, so that you could judge matters and situations and things of that nature. Verse 19, thou shalt not rest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither shalt thou take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. So if you are in judgment position, if you are in leadership position, do not take bribes, because bribes blind the eyes. It's very hard to judge someone who's giving you $10,000 and $20,000. It's going to be very difficult for you to judge that person. Some people say, no, I could do it, but it's very difficult. So a judge is in a position of power, and he has to limit himself or stay away from bribery or people trying to milk him or try to get them on his side. Judge has to be fair down the middle, and he has to judge things righteously. It says, justice shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which Jehovah thy God giveth thee. So we shall follow justice, righteousness, so that we can live. Verse 21, thou shalt not plant thee an Asherah of any kind of a tree beside the altar of Jehovah thy God, which thou shalt make thee. So the Asherah was basically, for some of the research that I did, this people would carve out the trees and actually put the figures of these gods, you know, and the Asherah was a goddess of fertility. So you could imagine how that carving was. So these are things that we keep in mind. Verse 22, neither shalt thou set thee up a pillar which Jehovah thy God hateth. Neither shalt thee set thee up a pillar which Jehovah thy God hateth, meaning a statue to bow down to, altars to put sacrifices to false gods. The motive, Jehovah, he hates these things. Ooh. Hallelujah. I'm very tired, so I'm about ready to wrap this up. So, yeah, those are things that we keep in mind. So let's see here. Any questions here? Okay, so anybody has any questions? Before I close out? Anybody? Anyone? Any questions? What we doing for Passover? We're observing it in our. This is a for those on YouTube Live. We on Facebook Live. Someone asked a question: "What you doing for Passover?" For Passover, we're having services at our congregation, so we always have Passover services. So that's all we're going to be doing. We're going to be chilling, having a good time, relaxing, and enjoying the season. All right, a sister asked about toothpaste. So toothpaste is, hold on for a second. Shalom, shalom.
I don't know if you're gonna go with that tomorrow.
Yeah, I see the toothpaste here. All right. So basically, I seen the question. What happens with toothpaste is you do not want the toothpaste with baking soda or the what do you call the other thing? That's what they put in toothpaste, baking soda. You want the natural toothpaste. You could go to any health food store and you get the toothpaste. You get the natural toothpaste. That's usually what we do. We get the Tom's toothpaste without the baking soda in it. Basically, that's what you look for in toothpaste. We try to get as natural as we can. There was also this toothpaste by the name of Pilu that they sell in the health food store. So we just try to stay away from any other, with any regular type of toothpaste that might have that baking soda in it or the sodium bicarbonate. That's what I was looking for. The sodium bicarbonate. So basically that's what you're looking for. So the brand that we're usually using is called Tom's, right? And I think Walgreens and all those other places sell it. But I think the health food store sells the most natural one, the one without the sodium bicarbonate, I believe, and the baking soda. All right?
Okay.
So
that's great.
And what was the other question, Hema?
Well, I can't see it now. If the person would post it back, that would be great. But there was another question. I guess it would be pertaining to foods. Now, anything that rises naturally, like beans or rice or something like that, or pasta, they want to know. Well, I don't know. I think pasta has a leaven in it, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, pasta, no good. We don't use pasta because that's basically what the sourdough was. It was leftover dough, right? So some people don't have a problem with pasta if you make the pasta yourself fresh and you cooking it that same time, it'll be just fine because it's just flour and water, and that's what you're doing. But as far as rice and beans, there's no leavening in that. That's just going through his process. Yeah. There's no leavening in rice, especially. But during this time, what we do advise you to do is use the brown rice that has not been enriched. That's the important part. Don't use the enriched rice, right? Use the regular brown rice that has not been partially cooked, not parboiled rice. They got that brown rice that takes a long time to cook, and you're just going to have to cook it. Clean it out and do all those things.
Yeah.
So those are the things.
I think there was another question about deodorant.
Deodorant is the same thing with the with the baking soda and stuff like that. And we usually go into the health food store, and Tom's, there's a brand called Tom's that usually has that, we usually cover. We usually get a peppermint soap, a peppermint base soap, which a lot of people use throughout the year. You could, for lotion, you could use things like shea butter. These are things that you can make yourself. Shea butter, petroleum jelly, Vaseline, I believe it's good. Things of that natural stuff. You got the oils that are natural, and you could actually read, what's in there. What you don't want is the stuff with all the ingredients. So During Pesach, you spend a little bit more for natural things, and then you go from there. Well, baking soda, while we don't, somebody asked a question about baking soda. Why we don't use baking soda is because baking soda is used as a leavening agent, right? So we don't use baking soda because you can make certain things out with baking soda and it causes it to rise. So it will play the same role as yeast or baking powder. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So that's why baking soda, we eliminate baking soda from the equation. All right. So it's only for 7 days.
Yes, it's very encouraging and it's very heart lifting to see all of the sisters on the site giving all this good sage information back and forth to each other, and it's just beautiful to see. Todah YAH and Todah sisters, you guys are doing your thing out there, and it's looking good.
And thank you for assisting me because I'm really tired.
That's okay. We all working this thing together. That's what we're supposed to do. That's why we're Israel. It's not supposed to be no one-man show.
That's right.
All right. Well, have a good evening. Shabbat Shalom, Chief, and everybody's doing a wonderful job. All right. Shalom.
All right. Shalom, Todah. All right. So any more questions? I mean, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all, I see y'all jumping up and down in the screens, and y'all got everything, down pat. So it's basically but Chief Benjamin is the I don't want to use the right, he's the wizard of all this stuff. See, I've been doing it for so long that there's certain things that you see after you've been doing Passover for so long. That's why I said it's like you got some people that don't eat rice and beans. You got some people that eat rice, but whatever it is that you do, you've been doing it for so long, you already know the routine. You know, you're going to grab certain things out of your shelf, and you're going to get rid of them, and this is how you do it, and also the thing about liquor, right? And we were having a discussion about wine in particular for Pesach, right? So this is the thing with wine. What happens sometimes with wine is that a lot of these companies, they put a yeast starter in it so that it could ferment, right? It could start fermenting. The fermentation process takes long, goes faster. But what happens is you have to get and I know we emphasize that we don't look for kosher, whatever, but if you're going to drink wine, look for the kosher for Passover wine. You have to make that effort there because wine companies put yeast in their wines. So you have to look for the ones, the Manischewitz wine that said kosher for Passover, or the Mogen David that says kosher for Passover wine, because that is produced with a different process where they don't put the yeast in it. I believe they add a little bit more sugar in it to speed up the process for the fermentation and for you to have that thing. We eliminate vinegar on Pesach. We don't do condiments. We don't do vinegar. I'm just telling you what our congregation does. We don't do vinegar. We don't do condiments. Ketchup, mayo. We don't do mustard. We don't do any of those things on Pesach. Now you got some people that know how to make things naturally, right? And know how to, we eliminate all of the salad dressings. We kind of make our own salad dressing with olive oil and lemon and salt and pepper and things like that. We kind of go natural with it so that we won't be in fault. That's how we do it. Right, we get the grape juice is good, 100%. The juices, we usually get 100% juice, right? 100% orange juice, 100%, grape juice, like that. The Concord, what do you call it? The Concord grape juice. You got the what's the name of the company? Is it Concord? I just know it when I see it. I don't really. You just know when you've been doing it for years. You just go and you grab it and you know what is it that you're looking for. So those are things. What else? Any more questions? If you got questions, you could ask me now, and then Chief Benyamin. Remember, this Sunday, I want somebody to write it down while I'm saying it. The Kadem grape juice. So this Sunday at 7 o'clock in the evening, Rabbi Chief Benyamin will be going over he will be doing a presentation. He will be doing a PowerPoint presentation on the do's and don'ts of Pesach, and he will be taking questions. So Sunday, 7 o'clock in the evening, right? It'll be 2 hours before whatever your favorite show is that comes on AMC. So you will have enough time to sit down and listen. And this is definitely more important than that show. So those are things that and I'm just joking, all right? I understand. Pesach begins on the evening of April the 10th, Monday, April the 10th, and it concludes. That's the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It begins on sundown on Monday, April the 10th, and it concludes on Tuesday, April the 11th at sundown. That's the first day, right? And let me make sure, right? So, and the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread begins on Sunday, April 16th, and it concludes on Monday, April 17th at sundown. So if you work in the daytime, you need the 11th and the 17th off, all right? And if you work at nighttime, then you got to make the appropriate adjustments. So that's what that is for everyone. Just to clarify and let everybody know. Where can I find unleavened bread? All right, so there's one or two ways that we could go about. This is a question on Facebook, by the way. So where I come from and the congregation that I came from, no, we don't start it on the 9th. We started on the 10th at sundown. All right. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but we're keeping it in the same tradition that we've always been keeping it in. So now unleavened bread. And you got your opponents and your proponents, your opponents, whatever, to matzahs, right? They sell the box matzahs, just the plain ones for Passover that don't have any eggs or anything like that in it, because you just kind of want to eat the bread with how it was specified with our forefathers. So then you have that, right? I'm not opposed to it. People call it crackers, they call it this, they call it that. I'm not opposed to it. It's an easy way to feed the kids. The kids go through it. They put, you could use the whipped butter. You got the whipped butter, Breakstone whipped butter. And then you got like the preserves. Kids, they eat that through the whole time, and you'll be amazed at how many boxes of matzahs they go through in a year. But some people are opposed to that. I get it. I understand it. Tradition, how people were raised up, and so forth and so on. So now, if you want to get more involved with the season and creating everything that you eat, then you just get you some flour, you get you some water, a little bit of salt. You need some dough. You flatten it out like a wrap. You flatten it out. You get like a griddle, one of them old iron pots. You put it on one side, you flip it on the other, and you good. Some people get creative. They put cinnamon, honey, and that's a great look also. All right, so that's the way you could do it also. So that's for everybody. This Yom Rishon, right, 7 p.m. will be do's and don'ts for Pesach, right? So, okay. So, please tell a friend. I'm going to create the actual flyer for it and the link. And I'm going to send it out for everyone to have it. And then you could tell a friend, you could tune in, you could come on, and it's going to be great. You know, Chief Benjamin for the first time in this forum on a Google Hangout. I don't know which way he's going to want to do it. He might want to do it in a live place, or he might want to do it from home, but I have to find out from him. So once again, oh man, that's great. So once again, thanking everyone for joining us tonight, for thanking everyone for keeping me on, keeping me on point, because I was getting all tired and stuff, but y'all always give me life. So I thank God for y'all, just like y'all compliment me so much, but it's all the glory go to the Most High. And if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this. And you guys keep me going, and knowing that there are people out there that actually are listening and are paying attention and are doing all the things, that y'all do, because it means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the congregation, to the people in the congregation, and everybody that's involved with D.C.B, because it's a group of us. It's not just me. It's a group of us that are out here, and we're trying to do the best thing. Y'all just see my face most of the time because I've been doing this. Those of you that know me know that I've been doing this before D.C.B, when we was with the other congregation, and it's always been my job and what I've always done, because I feel my responsibility to all of you out there. So, thank you for all the love and the support. Thank you for continuing to support us, in every which way that you do. Don't stop doing that. We appreciate it. We actually need it, and we need all of you to continue to be with us and help us to grow this place. And Yah willing, we will have a place where we could call upon the name of the Most High and draw in God's people. And the Most High God will continue to be with us and bless us and guide us. So I thank all of you once again. May the Most High God bless you all on this night. Shabbat Shalom, and see you in the AM at 11 a.m., the same bat time, the same bat channel. You know how it is. And we will be here bringing the word of the Creator of heaven and earth. Hallelujah. May everyone have a blessed sleep, and may the Most High God bless each and every one of you. Shalom, shalom.